In a quiet village cradled by gentle hills, there lived a young man named Daniel. Known for his restless spirit, Daniel was constantly lost in thought, his mind always churning with worries about the past and anxieties about the future. No matter how hard he tried, he could never find peace. One day, Daniel heard of a wise sage who resided atop a distant mountain. This sage was said to possess the secret to true inner tranquility, and Daniel, driven by curiosity and desperation, decided to seek out the sage's wisdom. After a long and arduous journey, Daniel finally reached the summit. There, in the midst of a serene garden, sat the sage, eyes closed in deep meditation. Daniel approached cautiously, his heart full of hope and reverence. "Master," Daniel said, bowing deeply, "I seek your guidance. My mind is restless, and I yearn for peace. Can you teach me how to calm my thoughts?" The sage slowly opened his eyes, a gentle smile playing on his lips. "Calm your thoughts, you say?" The sage replied softly. "Very well, I will teach you." The sage led Daniel to a secluded corner of the garden, where a large stone basin sat, filled to the brim with water. Beside it was a smaller, empty bowl. "Your task," the sage explained, "is to transfer all the water from this basin into the smaller bowl, without spilling a single drop." Daniel looked at the basin and then at the small bowl, his mind racing with doubts. How could he possibly accomplish such an impossible task? But determined to learn, Daniel began to carefully scoop the water, pouring it into the bowl. For hours he worked, his concentration wavering as frustration began to cloud his mind. No matter how many scoops he made, the basin remained full. His thoughts grew more tangled, and his heart sank with despair. The sage watched Daniel struggle with a compassionate gaze. Then he stepped forward and gently placed a hand on Daniel's shoulder. "Daniel," the sage said kindly, "you are focusing so much on emptying the basin, but you've forgotten the most important step. Before you can empty the basin, you must first empty your mind." Daniel looked up at the sage, bewildered. "Master, how can I empty my mind?" The sage's smile deepened. "Release your fears, your doubts, and your attachments. Be fully present in this moment, and focus on each action, not the outcome. When your mind is clear, your task will become effortless." Taking a deep breath, Daniel let go of his frustration. He stopped worrying about the basin and instead focused on the simple act of scooping water. With each movement, his mind became quieter, his thoughts more serene. As Daniel's thoughts stilled, something remarkable occurred. The water seemed to respond to his newfound calm. Each scoop flowed effortlessly into the small bowl, and before long, the basin was nearly empty. Finally, Daniel poured the last drop into the bowl and looked at the sage, his eyes wide with gratitude and wonder. "You see, Daniel," the sage said, "when you empty your mind, you allow the task before you to unfold naturally. Peace and clarity are not found by force but by presence." From that day on, Daniel carried the sage's wisdom with him, understanding that the true path to peace lay within himself, in the quiet stillness of a focused mind.